Season 2 of the Pat and JT podcast.
Oh man, I'm here at last. The best time, always gonna be the best. Come on!
Exclusively on the Hurrdat Media Network.
402-403-9478. That's our phone number. If you want to voicemail, text, you can do that. Either one.
All that good stuff.
It's Pat and JT on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. We'd love. You can slide into our DMs. You can message us, whatever. Doesn't matter. Just get with us. Doesn't matter.
Oh my gosh! All right. So as we record this, it is Election Day, and we've talked about this before, but it should be a national holiday first and foremost.
Kids are off school because it's the polling place, and with COVID, don't want too many people around. So the kids, it's a national holiday for them.
A lot of
it's
schools
sleep until noon and game all day for them.
Yeah, right. So it might as well just be a national holiday,
Right.
and then people don't have to struggle with trying to get time off.
That's of all the days we have off for national holidays or just holidays, whatever. The fact that Election Day once every 4 years isn't a holiday is crazy.
It'd be too easy and make everything would be a lot easier. But then again, here we are with chapter. I think I started this book in 2004.
How you should have done it.
What you should have done.
Yeah.
You know what you should have done. I'm famous for saying that.
Yeah.
You know what they should have done. The first off is national holiday. Yes, that needs to happen.
Easy.
What was the other thing too? Oh, the changing the clocks. That needs to stop right where it is right now. I've figured out, I think, because of so many years of waking up dumb early, not my cup of tea, never was. And I mean, as a kid, hated getting up in the mornings. That was like, did you get up early in the mornings when you were a kid? Did you like getting up?
Well, I don't know. No. I mean, I didn't get up in high school early, but I got my radio job right when I was 17 and a half, so I got up at 2:45. So
I was 19 when I started working at the reservation center for Best Western.
At what time did you have to get up?
4 in the morning, I had to start my shift.
Yeah. I mean,
From that
then you
point
transition
on,
into radio,
been-
and you hate more. If you hate
My
broccoli,
entire
do you work
life.
at a broccoli farm?
Obviously, you do. Because that's how that must be how I roll.
It must be. I don't get it.
I don't know why I accepted that first.
What is that,
job.
masochist or sadist? If you hurt yourself, you're a...
Masochist.
Okay, so you're a masochist,
Yes.
a sleep masochist.
Yes, because the Marquis de Sade was that's where sadism comes from, because he would hurt people.
I don't know what that means.
I don't. I learned that.
I don't know what Marquis de Sade... Isn't that a museum?
No, it's a person.
Whatever.
You might Google that sometime.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
It's an adult Google, but
Whatever.
Google that
That's
sometime.
fine.
Anyway, but yeah, my entire life in high school, I hated getting up in the mornings. I could get up early to go to a horse show. I would.
When you're getting up for something you like to do, you're fine.
Get up, load everything up, and head out. But when it came to school, I don't remember how many times my dad would drop a wet washcloth on my face.
Yeah. Oh, it's
in bed because I wouldn't get up.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was also obstinate. It was like I'm
That's
starting
weird.
to count 1 to 10.
Yeah, that's
They yelled
weird.
at me. Yell at me one more time. I'm starting over.
Mm-hmm.
So yes.
weird.
So I figured out though now that my sleep patterns are kind of like back to normal-ish after
Mm-hmm.
2 years of not having to get up with an alarm clock. I sleep. I know exactly when I sleep and when I want to get up. I go to bed. I usually fall asleep by 10 and I'm up at 6. That's where I'm at right
pretty
now.
good.
Not when it's daylight saving time, because then I go to sleep at 11 and I get up at 7.
Okay, but it's still the same
It's
amount
the
of
same-
sleep.
Exact same thing. So right now, this is perfect. I go to.
Well, you'd think
you know,
you'd go to sleep at 9 and get up at 5 because it shifts backwards.
I don't know.
You would
right
think.
now, I get up. I woke up this morning at 6 o'clock because at 6 o'clock was 7 o'clock.
Yeah. So true. 6 o'clock was 7 o'clock. It's not. Okay, got it.
So that's my time right there. So don't change it anymore, because then I struggle.
I know.
Then I'm late.
It's rough. It's rough.
But anyway, I did go vote first thing this morning, and I got there like at 7:25. I thought I'll just get there and just see, and I was little prayers all the way. Just please nobody be there, please nobody. And pulled in, and there was just like a handful of people just getting out of their cars and heading over to the door. And by the time I got out of mine, I ended up being 15th in line.
It's not bad.
Not bad. And I'm standing there, everybody's 6 feet apart, and we're standing there and outside waiting for them to open up the front doors. And I'm on my phone, scrolling Twitter, looking at Facebook, and I look up and look around a little bit. Nobody else was on their phone. Everybody else was standing there, either with their arms folded and just staring, looking at people,
What?
looking around, or they were looking at the front door, or they were
Do they think they couldn't be on their phone or
I don't
something?
know. I don't know.
Like every time I have idle time, if I'm waiting in line, or I am on my phone.
I am too.
Constantly.
Do you have an unlimited data plan?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good too. Me too. So yeah. So then I got to think, well, maybe they don't have unlimited. No, we can get unlimited. Maybe they don't have it. Maybe that's why they're not on right now. I don't know. Wonder if the church has Wi-Fi. I have no idea. So anyway, so yeah, I was on Twitter and zipping around. The next thing I know, I look behind me, and the line behind me had grown significantly, and it was out and around the corner and then through the parking lot, and people were.
And that's deceiving too. Like just like at Home Goods and TJ Maxx, it's like there's only 8 people in line, but you're 37 feet from the register because of social distancing.
So it did look a lot worse than it probably was. There was a lot of groups, which I thought was interesting. There were like groups of people that showed up to vote together. And so
that's cool.
Because in the line, usually when you're in line, there's not a lot of conversation, right?
Right.
And everybody's 6 feet apart. But then you look and you're like, there's like groups of 3, 4, and lots of couples, obviously. But you saw a lot of groups of 3 or 4 or 5 people. And it's like, I wonder if they like carpooled or
they might maybe
picked up some people and brought them with them. There was conversations going on. They were laughing and having, it was crazy.
I mean, hey, it's
Yeah. So once we got inside, it was, yeah.
It's fun. I love it. I love it. I can't. We're going tonight. We haven't gone yet. Going tonight.
I don't know what the lines look like now.
I'm sure. Who knows? Like it's.
Yeah,
I've waited in line. I think one time for like 10 minutes. I've never waited in line on election day. I never have because. I've gone during the day though because we always got off work at 10. I'd go at like 11:30 or like 2 in the middle of the day. Yeah. So we'll see how tonight is.
See how
could be a disaster.
It could be interesting, but I know some of the locations they were showing a good turnout. I don't know. They said that like 100 million people had voted already. Like
that's
prior
crazy.
to today. That is.
I would never think to vote early unless I was going to be gone. Unless I couldn't physically go to a poll. If I could go to a poll, I would go and I would do that. I would never want to vote like 2 weeks early, 3 weeks early, sitting at my table. It would just feel weird.
And my parents always have done that. And I think part of it too, at one point, voting early, you had to have like a legitimate reason to vote absentee.
Right.
You couldn't just request your ballot. There had to be more to. I don't know what the checks and balances
what's the point of polling day or of election day if you can vote for 3 weeks leading up to it? And
I think I understand why they do it because they didn't want to go in. I think for a lot of people this time around they didn't want to go in because of COVID.
Sure, this time makes total sense.
Didn't know what the situation was going to be like. But then the other side of it is, what happens if something happens to your candidate and you've blown your vote? Mm-hmm. And you want to go right up to election day, right?
Yeah.
It's like I want to wait till the last. I'm going to vote that day.
Yeah.
So I know my candidate and I'm voting for him. Because like some people voted early. And there's several states you can change your mind. Up to 3 times.
Which is crazy. It's supposed to be anonymous, but you can change your mind.
Well, absentee, you request it so they know they sent you a ballot.
So they scan it and know that you
that you requested, you got it, and then when you send it back in, it ticks that off so that you know it's been counted.
Okay.
So that's another reason my parents like to, because there's that verification. Because when you do it anonymously, when you go in, it's like, okay, so how do I know it got counted?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's true.
How do I know it didn't slide behind the cabinet, behind the copier?
Yeah.
Because I found things behind the copier before.
True. Right.
And so I can understand
I get the verification side of it.
The absentee side of it.
But you're right about but locking in your vote 3 weeks. I mean, there's a lot of stuff can happen in 21 days leading up to an election. Your candidate gets there's a video of him or her getting a tuggie or giving a tuggie on a subway, and you're like, well, I wish I hadn't voted for XYZ person.
And then you had COVID. It's like, so what happens if somebody gets sick? Or something else happened, you just don't know. So that's part of the reason why I wait. But I certainly understand the validation of the absentee ballot, because then you asked for it and then it's verified.
And that makes sense. I didn't realize that was the case.
That's the case, because like the mail-in, that's where I had a problem with the mail-in. And it's not politics. It's just the fact that I don't like them just sending out ballots and not knowing who gets them. And then you send it back and you don't know who they got counted.
You hear these stories. I saw the story yesterday that there were ballots that were sent out that were pre-filled out.
Yeah.
They're already filled out. It's like, what?
I know.
I mean,
they were copies. They weren't even real ballots.
Well, and there are so many different in every state, sometimes even every city. There are different printers that do them. Instead of having the government printer.org that does it .gov that sends out the ballots. I don't know why they do it in individual states and cities. Just send out one ballot from the government.
Every ballot, because every district is different. They have different races. So, but everybody should be able to go to the same, print 1, 2, 3. and create their ballot
Right.
at the government site and then have it.
Freaking, you could do that
Right?
for what, fantasy football.
You can do that for business cards.
Right.
Everybody
I mean,
creates their own business cards.
Thanks, Vistaprint. Let's have Vistaprint make our ballots.
Everybody's using
Good
the same
Lord.
source. That
Right.
would make sense. That would make sense. But yeah, I told, and some of the other stories, and I know they're not, it's not like it's happening widespread, but the guy who set the mailbox on fire outside the post office,
Right.
which had ballots in it. and it's like, come on, let's try not to make this more difficult than it is. Or the voting machines went down in a couple of counties today in different states. And so people were asked to hand fill out these ballots, which is what we hand fill out like we do, but that's not their process. So they are hand fill these out now, and then we'll tabulate them later. I mean, and there are polling people that are watching the polls. So you've got people from both parties, or all whatever, how many parties are all there watching to make sure everything's legit. And most people that work in the polls are good people.
For the most part.
You know, they really are. My mom works in the polls. And she's been doing it for years. She's at the what am I saying? The little ballot place, whatever.
The polling place?
Polling place?
The ballot place?
The ballot place. The ballot place, too. That's where your ballot is. That's where
the place where your ballot is. It is the ballot place.
It's the ballot place.
I
But yeah.
can't believe in this day and age, we do every single thing. I even went to the doctor the other day, and I have my little My Chart, and I'm on there, and I log in. I have all my my medical stuff. It's all online. How on earth we can't figure out a way to vote online to make it so it's
Safe?
okay, it is safe. It's 100% safe. The fact is that people don't want to vote online because there's that small little sect of people that there's corruption of whatever kind it is, whoever, they don't want it to be, because it's super easy. You go in, you use your social number, you vote one time, you're done.
The banks do it.
Right. Everybody, you can do
bank.
it. There are too many people fighting for the fact that there's that little margin of error where there's corruption and mess ups when the dumpster
remember.
burning.
There is a reason why we can't do that. Oh my gosh.
Like a legit reason
There is
why?
a legit reason why we can't do that. There is.
Is it like because of the Constitution, like before
No.
the internet?
No. Oh, what is it? There is a reason why. I will find it.
I can't imagine, unless it's like a rock solid home run excuse. There is no reason why we can't vote online.
I will have it for you for the next episode. I promise. I hate doing that because it's a podcast and we could come back and edit it in. But
I still don't understand why.
that's my teaser for the next episode.
Right.
I'll tell you why we can't do it. I'll tell you why.
There's not much else to stick around.
There's a
So
because the election will be over.
It'll be over.
And nobody will care.
No one will care.
But there is a legit reason why, and I know a lot of people ask that question. Because if the banks can do it, and if your doctor can do it, why can't we protect our information in order?
And if
to
there's
vote?
a good reason for it, I want to
is.
hear. I want that to be the defense instead of someone saying, "Well, it's not safe. You could get hacked."
Exactly.
Well, I totally understand that. So can my bank and my social number and all that can get hacked too. But
Right. But it doesn't.
digitally dance every day with
And
all
granted,
my personal stuff.
We have had hacks at some of the banks, admittedly, but
We've also had dumpsters burned with 10,000 ballots. I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same exact thing.
but we'll see if we can't. I'll find the reason. I promise you, I will find the reason. It was a podcast I was listening to, and I'll find it. I will find it. And they broke it down. I was like, oh, that makes sense. It was a real aha moment for me. So
all right. Well then.
So anyway, yeah. So
And you're as skeptical as they come. So if you had an aha moment, I'll probably fall in line.
Okay, I will bring it to the table.
That's
for
tomorrow's
you so we can
episode.
talk about the
On a much more embarrassing and lighter note.
Thank you.
For the first time in my life, I had to have my 15-year-old daughter drive us home from a Halloween party this weekend because we were too intoxicated, Beth and I.
My God. I don't know
How
if that's
fun was
legal.
that?
I don't know. If
Oh,
that's
it's fine.
legal.
We're.
I don't know. If
It does.
that's
It does not
legal.
say it's when they have a learner's permit. You just have an adult over the age of 18.
So it doesn't say you have to be sober.
No,
Are
you can be
sure about
popped
that?
out of your mind. It
I
doesn't
think
matter.
we need to have our LEO friends help us out with that.
If you're hearing this, then we've proved that that's not illegal. If you're not hearing this, you don't know it existed. So yeah, we were at a Halloween party on Saturday night, and we are going to leave, and we realized we were in no condition to drive. Sophia she needs to get her nighttime driving hours.
Oh my God.
She did fantastic,
with
I think.
drunk people in the back. So she's ready to be an Uber driver.
She is. And the sad part is, and I haven't told her this, it's the first time I've said this other than to Beth the next morning. I didn't know that till the next day at about 10 o'clock that she drove us home. Beth did. She knew. I had no idea. And I knew that because I got in the car to come up here to work. and the seat was pushed way up from driving. Like, holy cow, what happened? Uh-oh.
Who drove my car? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
You didn't have to bring home a poinsettia plant, did you?
No, I did not. I did not bring home. No.
That's a long story from a Christmas party
that's
long
not,
ago. Okay.
Did not. No, I did not.
Yeah, so that's kind of what's
That's it.
what's been
So
going
tomorrow
down.
you're going to get that information for us?
Yeah, I'll get that part 2 of this very special edition of the
Okay.
Pat and JT podcast.
Very, very special election
A little
edition.
civics course here for
Yes.
us all.
Oh,
Take you to school.
all right. Well, if you're listening to this in the next 5 hours, go vote or whatever. Thanks for listening to our podcast. Go vote.
Pat and JT Podcast, a Hurrdat Media Production.